Story about everyday carry survival knife. This is a concept that goes back 2 or 3 years. From my son and I spending plenty of time in the woods, scouting and hunting and that type of thing. And it evolved from us wanting a knife to do just what we wanted to do and nothing more. And so I shopped and tried to find something, couldn't find it. So I just went down to my shop and I made one. And that started the ball rolling. But never really thought about this as something that would evolve into something patentable and then a business. But it turns out that it actually is. We've evolved into something that I think is actually very niche, but it's also very patentable. And so I'll give you our story here very quickly. So of course, we all know that knives are very, very old. So who would ever think that you would still have something patentable with a knife? I'm probably the worst critic of that. I'm a patent manager for Lexmark. I evaluate inventions for them and help to make decisions on which ones that we file. I consult on dozens and dozens of inventions every year personally at Lexmark. And so I'm probably the harshest critic of all working in a high-tech area to be arguing that, that there could be still something available to the knife industry. But it kind of got the best of me, and I started doing patent searches. And over some period of time, I concluded that, yeah, there actually is there's some patentable technology here. Even after searching patents literally back to 1850 for every knife patent that was ever issued back to that time. Searching the web, talking to internal consultants, that type of thing, and finally convinced myself, yes, there is. So these two features in combination, in my view, makes enables a new type of survival knife that I think that you'll all find rather intriguing. So just a bit of progress here. We've got one patent written. The other one will be finished in July. It will be filed in July. And so this is something we're serious about. We're moving forward. The invention enables this type of a fundamental shift. Each of these knives are about 12 inches long. They're heavy. They're bulky. The one to my left is 28 ounces. Who would want to pack that into the woods? And unless you intend on having to survive, well, if you intend on surviving, it's not a survival situation. And so, my view is that the knife that you would have in a survival situation is a knife that you would feel comfortable carrying on a day-to-day basis, not something like you would see either one of these. So this is an image of the knife in action. We only have CAD models at this point. We do not have complete working prototypes. I have put in a request for a grant, and that'll go in actually tomorrow. And thanks to Warren and his team for helping me put that together. So this is one of the features that's patentable. This is a gouge on the tip of a knife. Very simple feature, but never been done in this form before. This enables a lot of new functionality to a knife that is not capable at all. This is one of those where you can actually gouge out internal features. So you can use this for making tools or traps or whatever else you choose to use in the woods. The other feature is related to the saw. There is no functional saw on the market today on the back of any knife, period. And this is a first. So again, it took me quite some time to believe that myself, but I'm absolutely confident that these both are novel, not obvious, very patentable. So these two things in combination, in the form factor that we shown, can reduce the weight from a 12-ounce knife to 5 ounces. The extreme case was the one I showed you on my left, which is 28 ounces. That's the extreme. You can reduce the blade length. You can reduce the thickness of the steel. Because you're no longer having to use your knife as a hammer or as a hatchet, those types of things. A lot of functionality changes with this type of a design. So much so that I believe that this actually creates a new crossover category. So you find people that use hunting knives for survival. You find them using multi-tools. You find them using military-type survival knives and trying to use those. All of those are limited in their functionality. Every one of those. No tool on the market does really what is needed in a form factor that is capable to be carried on an everyday basis. So I've termed this, at least for now, I'm hoping that somebody can improve my terminology here. Everyday carry outdoor everyday outward carry term survival. That's really the nature of the beast. You don't pack a backpack into the woods that's ever going to survive. You happen to have a knife on you, you wind up wounded in the woods, and then you have to stay there for a couple of days until somebody shows up. That's the scenario that we're talking about. So it's a knife that you would normally want to carry, not something that's going to be 28 ounces. The market, in my view, has three different levels here. Retail. I did it.